Now we
Back to
turn
the dissolute future of Blade Runner
2049.
2049.
Okay, so I'm going to say this for right out of the gates. I literally was like, there's no way I'm going to get through this movie. There's no way, because the last time I watched this movie, I was like, holy crap. Like, I've said before in our Camcast, this is like a beautifully shot but boring movie. I will say, though, I am glad that I rewatched Blade Runner and then watched this immediately after that.
It helped. Big time.
Because, like, yeah, this is a slow-paced movie, but the other one was slow-paced too. This had more action in it.
It has way more action.
But I will say this, though, in all honesty, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, it's such a long movie. It's a long movie, but I'm like, I don't know what I would cut, though. I can't think of really, and even like Ridley Scott had said, like, yeah, it was like about, it's a longer movie than it should be, because this also underperformed, and it wasn't a bomb, but it was.
It made its money back. No, it lost $80 million.
That's actually right. It was a bomb. It didn't.
Europe pulled it out of the
because it had to do like $400 million to break even.
Yeah, they had a huge budget on it, which is clear as day when you look at it. Because straight up, this is probably one of the most gorgeous movies I've seen in my life. My life,
it is hands down one of the like most
every
beautiful
bit of scenery
shot movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, I'm trying to think.
So good looking.
I don't know if there's going to be a movie in the next like 5 to 10 years that will top how beautiful this movie is.
Denis Villeneuve directed this one, and he was coming right off of Arrival, which was my favorite movie.
I can't wait to do
That's my
Camcast
favorite
for
movie of 2016.
I cannot wait to do like an oddball sci-fi flick movie, or a Camcast or whatever.
Arrival's a masterpiece.
I love Arrival so much.
Yeah,
much. Man, I love Arrival. But anyway, but yeah, like I was saying, like I'm trying to think like what would I cut.
I mean,
but every single part of this movie is actually vital to the story. Mm-hmm. You know. But we'll get into this. I love that right out of the gates we meet Kay, and he is a replicant Blade Runner.
Yes.
No, is he or isn't he? Nope. Bullshit.
Straight up is.
He's a full-on replicant.
Yeah.
I also like that he's leading the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, just on a regular job, he meets Snapper.
Yeah, how about that opening sequence?
We'll get to that in just a second, but I like that he meets Snapper, and then in the investigation around Snapper, he's going, wait a minute, what's going on here? And they find that box. But that whole opening sequence is just incredible. Like,
Dave Bautista is in the first 10 minutes, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But that whole sequence, and you know what? That whole sequence was me alone going, Bautista can act.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's done Spectre and Guardians.
I'm not... Okay, when they talked about Spectre, they were like, oh, man, like, Dave Bautista's Spectre. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
He doesn't fucking say a word.
He's a muscle man.
He's acting more as Drax than he is in most of these movies. But this one...
This here...
I was like, ooh, boy.
This here. And it's the reason why Denis Villeneuve is bringing Bautista over to Dune. Because he's remaking Dune. Yeah. He's the only guy that he took from this movie. Like,
maybe Dune. Maybe Dune will be the one that's way more beautifully shot than this one.
I think it will be.
So getting back to Blade Runner 2049, so that whole actual opening sequence with Snapper was really cool.
Yeah.
But I liked how like Kay was basically just kind of like if we could do this the easy way, great. Like that is awesome. I'm all for it. And, and I'm sorry it had to be me type of thing. So they hinted at a previous relationship. I thought that was really neat. And then you get the sense that the Snapper's like, I'm not going in. I'm not going in. Yeah. And like even when he's just like, it's almost like kids today type of thing. Like, you new replicants.
Yeah.
You don't even see wonders, and you're just like, oh, okay, all right. You find out why, and he says that later.
Yep.
Like, specifically when you find out that they find Rachel's body, and there's indications that she had a child, which I was like, whoa! So then when Kay's superior officer, Joshi is like, okay, so here's the deal. You can't tell anybody. You keep this to yourself, and now you gotta hunt every sort of aspect of this. Find the kid, kill the kid, and make sure nobody finds out about this, because this will fuck everything up. Which is true, because, I mean, the whole point of the replicants is that they're not human.
Yeah.
And that they're supposed to just have a shelf life.
Yeah,
and they're
replicants
only
don't have kids.
supposed to just do the things that we want them to do, and that's it. Once you find out that replicants can have children, now you start thinking, well, maybe they're more alive than we thought. Maybe this is something beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, when they start obviously saying, no, we want to live like humans and be treated like humans, they're getting less and less of a reason for them to say, no, you can't, because you're not. There's nothing human about you.
Yeah.
Once you can have kids, it's like, well, hold on a second, because that's one of the definitions, one of the defining traits of a human being, right? Doesn't matter how we came to be, but the end result is we can have kids. So, and yes, I do have to agree. I like that in this movie they establish that Deckard is, in fact, a human being.
Yeah. I also like that they didn't rush to have Deckard in it.
No!
He doesn't show up till the final 49, 50 minutes of the movie.
And that's it. Like, it's like a build for it. So, when I watched this the first time, I remember distinctly being like, okay, we finally see him.
Yeah.
Whereas this time around, I was like, oh, yeah, fucking right. It's like, now we're getting to it, you know? Especially because the whole part, up until this point, like, we start finding out, like, because Kay's thinking that it's him. He's thinking that he's the child.
Exactly, because he's got those implanted memories.
The implanted memories, plus he's looking through the records, and he finds out that at that point, like, there was a boy and a girl, so he's just like, oh, it was me. Before I forget, I love the relationship he has with Joy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was actually, it was one of those where I was like, that is super cute, that a replicant.
She calls him Joe.
Yeah, a replicant is in love with a hologram.
Yeah.
A hollow assistant, I guess you could say. But even just that cool part where he's eating the fucking slop, and she superimposes, like, this beautiful meal that she made for him.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cute. This is super cute.
All of it was cute. When she gets Mackenzie Davis to show up, and then...
Yeah.
That was a cool scene, though, how she's mimicking the body, just the way that was shot.
That was crazy cool.
That had to be hard to do.
Yeah, really. And also, I like I love it when he gives her, like, a tangible body, and he's like, you can do whatever you want. What's the first thing you want to do? Yeah. She goes out in the rain.
Yeah.
And it's this beautifully shot scene where, like, it's interspersed with parts where she's, like, holographic, but then it's, like, full form. I was like, this is
and
just
then it starts to eventually bounce off her. And
I was like, man, this is just genius. So that, I thought, was a really...
It was a great love story, actually.
Yeah, like a really great love story. Not the best endings to that love story.
It was a tragic end.
Very tragic.
Though it led to probably the most beautiful shot in the whole movie.
Yeah, but like it's getting harder to quantify.
When Joy's face is that blue-haired giant hologram, and she comes down and looking like he's standing there on the bridge and looking at her.
Yeah.
Then they do that side shot. I was just, oh my god, because the cinematography in this is just as gorgeous as the first one.
Oh man, I actually would say that it is better.
I think it's better.
It's better.
It's
like Blade Runner is amazing because it's showing you something you've never seen before, and for the time period, and even for the budget that they had, they were able to make something that still stands up. Shoulders to something with a multi-million-dollar budget with the state-of-the-art special effects. So it should just annihilate Blade Runner, and it doesn't. Blade Runner, like I said, is shoulder to shoulder. This just edges it out because, like, I gotta say, that extra 42 minutes of movie allows for these expansive shots that are just so gorgeous.
It allows to really flesh out the side characters.
Exactly, and so Blade Runner is a really tight movie because it's really just a singular story.
Yeah.
With a couple of not plots, but threads coming together towards the end, because the whole thing is to find Sebastian. So the remaining replicants that Deckard hasn't found are trying to find Sebastian while he's trying to find Sebastian. Then when they find Sebastian, then that's it, you know? Whereas now we've got this plot with Kay and Joy. You've got Kay and tracking down the replicant child.
Yep.
Just the fact that there is a replicant child.
Yep.
Then the replicant refugees, or insurgents.
Yep.
Then you've got meeting the replicant child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so there's way more plot to this movie.
You got the whole Jared Leto
Yeah, the
Wallace, all the Wallace stuff. There's a lot more plot, but unfortunately, it also leaves some threads open when it ends.
Right.
It doesn't tie everything up with a bow like the first movie does.
Yeah, but I think that's partly because of the machine of movies today.
Yeah.
Where they don't like to do almost like a clear-cut ending. They want to have like 3 or 4 or 8 plot threads left open because their mind is always franchise. Where this is at least a trilogy.
Oh yeah, if this would have been big, guarantee we would have had another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Though it ties up Kay's story. So I mean,
Kay's story
there's some threads open.
I feel
but it's. Kay.
I also feel like Deckard's story is tied up too.
Yeah, I mean it could. It could go other places.
It could, but I don't see the point really.
Yeah.
You know, like for me personally, I'm not like I want to see more of that relationship because really, then it's just them catching up and you know. But it's like
that was a really beautiful ending though. Him just looking at and they're looking at it through the glass of each other.
Yeah.
It's just like
I was like, this is the perfect way to end it.
And actually, when it cut to the credits, I was like. Even though I complained before about how long it was, I was like, oh, I could have used another couple more minutes of that.
I actually was fine with that. Like
I was fine with it, but it was such a beautiful moment. I wanted just a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, but like, I mean, that's where we're gonna have to agree to disagree, just because, like, I was just like, you know, that was the perfect way to end it. Diana Wallace, horribly creepy.
Horribly creepy.
Like, almost disturbingly creepy. We're just like, oh god, buddy.
Leto was actually really good.
Yeah, but it's Jared Leto.
He's good at playing creepy, though.
Jared Leto is like one of those actors. Like he might be one of those guys where people say he's an underrated actor. I don't feel that he is an underrated actor. I feel like the people that watch him and stuff will know he's actually a great actor. It's just he's purposely not a huge actor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you watch him in Suicide Squad, Dallas Buyers Club, this movie, and you're all like it's 3 distinctly different characters that you're just like, holy shit, man. Wow, you know, but he's I think one of those guys where for him it's about the role, the experience. It's not about the money.
Yeah.
So that's why, like.
Yeah. Plus, he's got his whole side gig with 30 Seconds of Mars. So I mean, like, he's not someone that depends only on acting.
He's an artist.
He's an artist.
So it's just him just doing whatever he wants to do, type of thing.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, I don't feel like he's dependent upon it. Let's see. I used to say that this movie was beautifully boring. I now have changed it to it's arrestingly beautifully shot.
Yeah, you know what? I did not find this boring at all this time.
And I was just about to say, like, the story is way more engaging this time around.
But that's what happens when you watch them back to back, I think. Because I watched 2049 like 10 years after I watched Blade Runner. So all the stuff coming off of that movie, I didn't get. So I was watching a movie that I really didn't understand because I didn't remember a lot of Blade Runner. Like, I knew Deckard was from the first. Didn't really remember his importance. The Rachel cameo in this is massive.
Yeah, that's true. Because when I watched it the first time around, I was like, oh, right, because she was in the first movie. And, okay, so she's the mother of the replicant child. Okay, all right. Whereas in this one, very much so I was like...
I forgot she shows up.
Same here.
So when she walked in... And he's having that moment with her, and he turns around, like her eyes were green.
Exactly. And then you're like, holy fuck!
Apparently, that one shot took a whole year to do.
Wow. Because the actress had to learn how to be Sean Young, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And, like, Sean Young 30 years ago. And then on top of that, the superimposing that had to be done to make it look as perfect as it did.
And Sean Young was on set that whole time.
She got credited for it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, all right. But, like...
So good. So good. The highlight for this movie for me, acting-wise, is that Sylvia Hoeks as Love.
Yeah, she was great.
Holy Christ, she was amazing.
She
was amazing.
She was so good. I also really liked... the Joy character as well.
She was,
Those were two of the standouts for me.
Because, like... Two women, as far as I know, I've never seen them in anything before. Denis Villeneuve put them in here.
Gotta say, like, I think Ryan Gosling is an absolutely phenomenal actor. Mm-hmm. This is just another one of those movies where he's sleepwalking through. Like, I know he's a replicant, so it's not like he's...
Yeah, I didn't feel like he was sleepwalking, but I felt like he was definitely outshone by, like, the other actors around him.
But I guess that's partly because, he's he's a replicant, right? But like, it's like it reminded me of Drive, where everyone's like, "Oh, Drive is so great. He's such a great actor," and I was like, he didn't really act in Drive. You know what I mean? Like he was just kind of like almost mute, so to speak. And that's another reason why I haven't saw that. What's that one, Behind the Pines or whatever? That other Rice Efren or whatever. Effin.
That was it's a good movie, but it's a strange movie.
Yeah.
I won't say anything to spoil it.
No, it's one of those where like I'll get around to because I do think he's an amazing.
It does
actor.
not play out the way you're expecting. Like, I love Drive. Drive's one of my favorite movies.
Drive is amazing. I absolutely love Drive
because he's great in it. But the atmosphere.
Everything about that movie.
The atmosphere is the star of that movie.
The movie is so good that when I saw trailers for Baby Driver, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to watch it just yet because I feel like it's too similar.
Yeah. Drive, I watched in the theater. I smiled the whole movie. Drive
is amazing. Even though, like I said, like I feel like I don't want to say he sleepwalks because then it kind of ties him into like Bruce Willis, and it's like the last 20 years of movies, right?
Bruce Willis is a sleepwalker, for sure.
It almost feels like Bruce Willis hates being in movies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're Bruce Willis.
Why do I gotta be a star?
Yeah, like don't do movies then.
Bruno career take off.
Yeah, like don't do movies then. Seriously.
I can see him retiring pretty soon. I think he's getting to that point where
I don't think so.
Like John Travolta should retire.
Yeah, John Travolta should retire.
Because his movies are not good anymore.
I don't even want to.
I feel bad because I like John Travolta. Like
I've never had a problem with John Travolta. I you know what I think it is though? I think part of it is that John Travolta almost forgets, or he thinks he's still a big celebrity, for one. Two, I think he feels like he's a better actor than he is. Because he's not a great actor.
No.
You know, I don't look at his work and go, yeah, you know what, you're the greatest actor of all time. I just look at it like, you've done some good movies. You know what I mean? Like, even, like, I would say...
Well, I mean, Pulp Fiction is probably...
What is it? Phenomenon?
Oh, Phenomenon, yeah.
Phenomenon and Michael...
Yeah.
Are two of the movies where I would say, like, okay, see, like, this is a pretty good showcase of you as an actor. This right here. Okay? But I don't feel like he's any better. Or he's gotten any better than that.
No.
I think that was kind of like the pinnacle, so to speak. Because, like, I don't think Pulp Fiction is him really acting so much.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel... I might get a lot of flack for this one. I don't feel too many actors in Tarantino movies do too much acting.
Like, yeah, you'll get flack for that one.
Reservoir Dogs, I would say, is definitely an acting movie. But most of his movies are just kind of like Inglourious Bastards, Django, like from that point beyond. No, Kill Bill. Kill Bill definitely was acting. There's acting in Kill Bill.
Hateful Eight.
Sorry?
Hateful Eight.
I haven't even watched that yet, so I'm not even going to reference that one.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's incredible. Acting.
I'm going to actually have to rephrase that. It comes down to the fact that John Travolta isn't a huge celebrity.
Yeah, let's go back to Travolta, yeah.
Yeah, let's just attack him completely.
Yeah. He needs to learn Nicolas Cage's way of thinking, where it's like, I'm not begging anymore and I don't give a fuck. I'm just having fun. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Stop trying to do big, huge blockbuster movies. Just do, like, this thing with Fred Durst as the director, The Fan or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah. That movie looks weird.
I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to show everybody that he can act his ass off. I guarantee you, if they market it more like the Nick Cage thing, where it's just like, I'm just fucking John Travolta, and I gotta do whatever the fuck I want, and I don't give a fuck, because I'm running on Scientology dollars, I don't care. You like it? Great. If you don't, also great. Look at me. I look like a fucking weirdo in this movie. My socks are up to my knees. And I'm in a movie directed by Fred Durst, who just directed videos.
Yeah. Yeah, very strange. Very, very strange.
But anyway, so...
But back to 2049.
Yeah, back to 2049.
I don't even know how we got there.
I also like that the Replicant Baby is... the one that starts doing the replicant templates.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of them have her memories.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that is crazy cool. Nice little link. Because, you know, like, they start tying in the toy.
Mm-hmm.
You know
the
what I mean?
little wooden horse thing.
Yeah, the wooden horse, and I was just like... What I liked about that, like, what I like is that when they do callbacks to Blade Runner, they feel reverential. They don't feel like, see?
Mm-hmm.
See what we did there? It feels like it's taking from that movie and expanding upon it with their own story. And I definitely feel like because of the way it's ended with Kay dying.
Yeah, he died, right? Yeah, there's no way he was living.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, we didn't actually see him die, so you could argue, and he's a replicant, so you could argue.
He could, but I kind of felt
like... But again, he's a
like
replicant, so he'd die anyway.
I felt like he was like, my mission's complete. I've gone to his daughter.
That's right. And then so you have that storyline's done.
Yeah.
You have, Deckard meeting his daughter, and then, so
Great
I feel
moment.
like you could touch upon that in the next Blade Runner movie, but you didn't have to.
No.
So it's really just the Wallace and the replicant uprising.
Yeah, those two little things there, which, I mean, they could really wrap up in any form of... They could do a video game. They could do a comic book.
They could do it in any sort of media. And
I would actually really dig a video game.
I actually would really dig a video game, too.
Get the guys that made the SX to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Hells yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hells yes.
What else? I can tell you right now, I will definitely be rewatching it, but it is going to be when I'm rewatching Blade Runner.
Yeah. That
I'll be rewatching this movie. I definitely, like I said, I'm super glad that I rewatched both of them because I appreciate this movie so much more now. Mm-hmm. Because
me too. Like,
it's just. I actually feel bad that for the longest time I was saying that it's the most beautifully shot, boring movie. Like, that was pretty much verbatim what I was saying all the time. Whereas now I'm just like.
It's not boring.
It's
You have to be in the right mood for these movies.
That's exactly it. Like
if you're watching them at 11 o'clock at night when you're on the verge already falling asleep, you're not going to make it.
There's no point even starting it.
No.
Start it at 9 when you're still like, yeah, that's what I watch a movie,
Or in the case of this movie, 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or whatever.
Give yourself the 3 hours. Yeah.
But yeah, like, man, it's such a good movie.
Yes, and Fire Be Beautiful. The score in this is friggin' incredible.
Oh.
Hans Zimmer and this guy I've never heard of before, but man, Hans Zimmer is such an incredible.
He is so great.
Like you listen to this and Batman and Dark Phoenix, like you can't even tell it's the same composer half the time.
I'm so glad that he and Christopher Nolan got together.
Yeah.
Because then I was able to hear this guy do scores, and now I'm like Hans Zimmer. Like, I was looking at his shit on Spotify. Yeah. So that when I'm driving to work, I'm listening to his stuff.
I listen to shit all the time.
Because he's incredible.
But I've been a fan of his since Gladiator Mission Impossible 2. He did those 2 scores.
I always forget that.
That one summer, he did both those scores, and those are my favorite scores of the year.
Those are great scores.
So that is the 2004 number done, eh?
I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, I got nothing else. Oh, the only the fonts were too tiny in the movie. That's my only.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Like I was like this half the time. Like, what the fuck's that say?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I know it was for style or something, but hey, if that's the worst thing I could find,
yeah,
you're not doing too bad.
That's right.
You're not doing too bad. No, 2004 now I love, and I'll definitely revisit it now for sure.
Oh, 100%.